Hi, so tomorrow is October's expiry. Let's do a quick analysis. So, McDowell went really good. So ये 900 के ऊपर अगर क्लोजिंग देखी तो और भी अच्छी होती, but it had a good move today, and similarly Godrej Consumer Products was also able to close above the levels of 1000. This was what was discussed yesterday, so this is also good. UPL I think ये 750 और इसमें अभी भी बॉक्स में है. Asian Paint has a very strong resistance at 3200 levels, so let's see if it is able to take it out. Till now it seems like it will again try to come towards the levels of 3000 again for the support. Canara Bank or Bank of Baroda together with State Bank of India, you know, he 52 week high all time high banai hai, so they all are looking good. Cholafin, it went towards 630. The all-time high is at 634 levels, so it was a good recovery, and you can see it was very evident from yesterday onwards that a good move is going to come, and that's exactly what happened. Let's see if it is able to go towards our target of 650 in this short term. Other than that, many of this IT companies, they gave especially mid-cap IT, so Emphasis, LTTS, LTI together with OFSS, Naukri, so they all had a sort of a good run, and they were able to make lower highs, high lows, and so basically that means that there is some buying interest which is coming from the lower levels. UBL and McDowell both had a good run today, so UBL also closed at 1700. It's very near to its all-time high, so maybe this is also something which we are going to keep in radar. Together with this also Page Industry, after making an all-time high, it was in a nice consolidation. This is still ongoing. Astral also, we are just waiting for a breakdown towards the levels of 2000, where we will be adding some more positions. Ramco had a good run, and it at least it was able to close above the levels of 1000, so we will definitely keep Ramco in our radar for next session. Cipla, surprisingly, the market liked the result, and it was able to move past this 900. So let's see how far Cipla is able to move. Going forward, 950 would be an interesting level for us to track in Cipla. Infi 1700. So actually these structures, after such a huge downfall, these are not very much of an interesting patterns. Just like also in Jubilant Industry we see this, but rather this is an interesting pattern in Ultrachem. So this move came after the result, and now it is trying to go towards the levels of 7500. Today in general the cement sector was giving some move, so this was good. Sun Pharma was moving really good in the morning, but after during closing there was some sell-off. Let's see if it is able to move past the levels of 850 in the short term. Similarly, State Bank of India, we had our target of 520, 525. Both of them were met, and going forward I have no positions in State Bank of India. It seems like it can still go up towards the levels of 533, but I have liquidated 95% of my positions from State Bank of India as of today. Similarly, ITC also posted its results. Let's see. Theoretically this is a very bearish structure. Immediately ये 250 के ऊपर अगर गई, then only we can say that it's not. अगर ये 230 को breach करती है, then automatically it will come towards levels of 218, and that's where when we will this 218.15 was something which we have been talking since last 2-3 sessions, which would be of interest to us. Bharti Airtel also high highs, high lows, but unfortunately each and every day there's a sell-off from higher regions. I think going forward 750 is still a valid target, but for that it might require some more time. Okay, and so ACC also it was able to get us some decent support from 2200 levels, and Mindtree is also holding this 4500 levels, and going forward we still have a target of 5000 in Mindtree. IX, it was just a very short trading, very small. It traded in a very small range. Going forward, 800 will definitely act like a very good resistance, and all the positions which we will create over here we are going to liquidate all of them at 800, because 800 will be a tough resistance for IEX to breach in the very first go. Okay, Alchem, nothing much. Okay, there's all these structures. Okay, escorts made an all-time high. We have been talking about all-time high in escorts since last many days, and all the positions which were created over here, they are still valid, and going forward 1600 seems to be a very good sort of a target. Let's see, and it has a support round about at 1488 levels. So if there's a dip towards that, we are also going to add ICICI Bank, also nice consolidation at all-time highs, fantastic structure. Wipro also, after a good breakout, there was a gap, and the gap has been now filled, and we can see that there is some immediate support is coming at this 680 670 levels. So let's see if it is able to close above the levels of 700 in the very short term. So that would be interesting thing for us to track. Titan also posted its results. Let's see how it reacts tomorrow, and maybe we are never sure of how the market is going to react, and so we will just take the trade after the dust has settled around about at 10 o'clock. Bata India also looks really good in this nice consolidation. BEL also is in a box, 220 and 200. It went towards 209 today, and we are just waiting for a move towards 212. So where we would be booking our positions which we created on this particular day. TCS भी धीरे धीरे शिफ्ट करती हुई अभी 3500 की तरफ आ गई है. So I think 3350 would be a very good level for me to do the next step. I already entered at 3600 and I got the dividend, and now again I am going to add after the next 10% correction from 3600, that corresponds to 3350, and this is where I'm going to add more of TCS. TVS Motor, Apollo Hospital, Dr. Reddy, 5000 is a strong resistance. PEL also you can see it's in a box. 2500 से 3000 के बीच में है. Torrent Power, Gujarat, Tech Mahindra also. After the result, it's nicely consolidating at all-time highs. So this actually showcases that there is still strength in the market, and going forward अगर निफ्टी में कोई भी अगर अच्छी से strength दिखी, then definitely Tech Mahindra would be leading that from large cap IT. Of all the large cap IT companies, Tech Mahindra is the best one, which has the chart pattern. As the industry 1000 में अच्छी consolidate कर रही है, is just waiting for the result which is going to come in. Syngene seems like it's trying to get some support. But the way the structure is formed, very soon 500 could be well in the cards. Just like Amara Battery also, this is a very weak structure, and very soon it can totally correct much below even the levels of 650 in the medium term. So Manappuram is actually making a higher highs, and it's going towards 220. So 220 seems like a very good target. Hdfc also made all-time high, and you can see that in correction, just make sure, just see if it is able to hold the levels of 2800. IGL, so we were talking about 500, and then on this particular day we talked about how this is going to shift towards the levels of 470, and this also was met, and I think now it's again going to go much further below, or जब तक ये 500 के ऊपर closing नहीं देती है, there's not much of hope. And actually the way this results have been posted by IGL and MGL, I think for the next at least 2 quarters, I will not be thinking of making any long positions in these companies. And let's see, Power Grid also tried to give out give a breakout over 200 on this particular day, and now this is a failed breakout. Going forward हम लोग इस दिन बोले थे कि it will go towards 180, so I'm still confident. Right now it's at 189. I'm still confident कि अगर 185 186 ये levels को अगर breach करती है, then 180 would be a very quick half an hour trade, and this is something which I would be tracking to take, and I would definitely be interested in. ICICI जो है 1500 में आके एक सपोर्ट ढूंढने की कोशिश कर रही है. The structure is very weak, and going forward it is going to be a sell on rise. Hero Motor also weak. Adani Ports also 800 के ऊपर एक breakout देने की कोशिश की थी, failed breakout, and now I am pretty sure it will even break the levels of 720 and may correct towards the levels of 700. Indian Oil Corporation is trying to take some support from 130. Any closing below the levels of 126 will automatically take it towards 120. So in general, the market is going to give you much better reward if you are looking for weak counters. And so just like Colpal, we talked about 1500, and this is exactly what happened. See, after such a long drop down, you can't expect it to automatically reverse, but it is going to linger between this 1500 and 1600. Hdfc Bank is also 1600 or 1700 के बीच में है. Trend also after the result. Let's see how the market reacts. In general, अगर 1000 के नीचे closing आई, it can again go towards the levels of 900. Bharat Forge has been facing resistance at 800, and so then it corrected, and now it's again going for 800. For us, from a target perspective, I think 860, 870 seems like a very good one, which would be an all-time high. 844 is the 52-week high or all-time high for Bharat Forge. So this is something. Bajaj Auto is going to post its number soon, so I expect it to again correct towards the levels of 3700. अगर ये hold कर पाई तो good, else 4000 के ऊपर is something which we are going to track, else it's going to be in this particular range. MCX is also it gave a good move, and now after the gap down you can see it is coming towards the levels of 1500. And Muthoot also 15 or 1600 के बीच में है. So we are just waiting for a breakout in any direction, and from the looks of it, this seems like the chances of it closing below 1500 are much higher. Similarly, Tata Power is also a very small trading zone today. Going forward, अगर ये 234 235 के ऊपर अगर closing देती है, then immediately 250 should be in the vicinity, and that's what we are more interested in. PVR also is very near all-time. It's at all-time highs. We talked about PVR on this particular day, where we added positions, and we are sure that going forward, this company is going to give us a very good return. Coforge was the only mid-cap company which was not able to give at least a meaningful reversal move today. There was a lot of pressure. But going forward, the good thing was Naukri we added at 6,000. Sorry, and today it went towards 6250. We are targeting 6400 6250 levels for tomorrow, so this will give us a good 5% in 2 sessions, which is okay for now given the state of the market. And okay, LT also posted its result. Let's see how it moves tomorrow. Tata came also 1000 levels में अच्छी consolidate कर रही है. To do nothing much. MGL 1000 seems like a very good very weak support, and maybe in the coming time maybe this will also get broken. Ashok Leyland made a 52-week high of 149 150, and from there it corrected towards 136. It acted like a support, and right now again it's coming towards 140. I think it will just try to be between this 136 and 150 for the time being. Any move, any close below 136 can automatically take it again towards levels of 128. Okay, Kodak Bank also making all-time highs each and every day and nicely consolidating. So let's see what comes out of it. Actually, we were very much bullish on Kodak Bank on these days. तब हमारा 2200 का target था, which was already met, and now we are just waiting for it to give us some direction and some moves. वोल्टास 1200 में बहुत अच्छी एक रेजिस्टेंस फेस कर रही है आफ्टर सच अ डीप करेक्शन. यू कैन सी देयर वाज अ ब्रेकआउट एंड द फेल्ड ब्रेकआउट, एंड फ्रॉम देयर it's not trying to get, but I think going forward this is again going to come towards the levels of 1100, and then we would be looking into it. Tata Steel was having a good move, but unfortunately again these 3 days had a drawdown, and from there it's trying to get some support from 1288 1280 region, but I think going forward it can again come agar 1300 ke niche closing आई, it can actually correct towards the levels of 1200. Reliance also, this 2668 2670, we have been talking about this from this day onwards, and that has been acting like a strong resistance. जब भी वहाँ पे जाती है it's unable to cross. So let's see. In general we are not interested in Reliance, because our short-term target of 2752 was already met, and we booked our all the holdings which we were carrying from 2400 days over here. So we are just not very much interested unless and until a closing above say 2670 to 2700 के ऊपर जब तक क्लोजिंग नहीं आएगी तब तक हम इसमें उतना पोजीशंस बनाने की बारे में सोचेंगे नहीं. IRCTC is also looking weak. Going forward ये easily 4000 को breach कर सकती है the way it's moving, and if that's the case then going forward it can automatically correct hugely. And so going forward the only scope, the only chance it has is if it is able to move past the levels of 4400 on a closing basis. For now then only there will be some interesting moves coming. Hindustan Unilever B is shifting. You can see 2500 भी breach करते हुए अभी और भी नीचे खिसक रही है, and there can be more correction coming in Hindustan Unilever. The only thing which we would be tracking of course is the levels of 2580 to 2600. उसके ऊपर अगर closing आई then we would be looking into it. Overall RLTB, this can easily, it's actually a good pattern, and maybe 1000 के ऊपर closing में we can see some good sharp moves. IndusInd Bank also made an all-time high, and again it's coming towards 1100. So all the moves, Hindalco also, you can see all the moves which came in just a matter of 3-4 sessions, all of them were discredited and invalidated. So Navin Florin also, we talked about 3500 to be a strong resistance, and that's exactly what happened today. You can see it opened at 3500 levels and it was unable to go. हमारे लिए we are not going to look into it unless 3700 levels are breached on a closing basis, and definitely जब तक 4000 के ऊपर closing नहीं आती, we would definitely be not entering aggressively. And this we have been talking since many sessions. When it was trading over here, we were always waiting for a strong closing above 4000, and that never came, and so here you know the reason. So now going forward it can totally come towards the levels of 3000, and also Deepak Nitride also, you can see that 2500 breach करके अभी this looks weak, and especially going forward अगर ये 2250 2300 के नीचे अगर ट्रेड करना स्टार्ट की, it can automatically come towards the levels of 2000. So this is absolutely so in this chemical sector, Aarti is looking good. So other than that, all the structures, they have been broken, and so there's not much to expect. PI Industries also, it was trying to get some support at 3000, but today again it gave a closing below 3000, and going forward it can again correct towards the levels of 2500 to 2700. Let's see where it ends. Tata Motors nicely consolidating after the gap up. It's able to hold the gap up, and so going forward 600 seems like a good target for the medium term. So Tata Motors is definitely in our radar. SAIL also is facing resistance at 120, and IndusInd Tower is also weak. It gave a good move from 280 onwards, and now today is at 270. So the move which came in one day has been invalidated over all these sessions, and so this is how exactly these counters moves are made. Bandhan Bank went towards 350. Everyone was cheering, and now you can see it's now below 300, and very soon it can totally correct towards the levels of 270 280. ONGC also a nice move was coming. Yesterday we talked about how this is a bearish pattern, and theoretically we were talking about how a closing below 160 would be detrimental, and today it went towards closed at 157. So going forward, even ONGC is looking for levels of 150. National Alarm, Torrent Pharma 2800, that's what we talked about yesterday. So we added some positions at 2800, and I'm going to keep it. I have some trading strategy for Torrent Pharma. For this I need to make some positions. So let's see ये और कितनी correct होती है. For me 2820 is a very good SIP level, and going forward I'm pretty sure that I would be able to square it off at 3000 and 3100 levels in the very short term, which is some 200-300 rupees, which corresponds to 10%. So I very much like Torrent Pharma, and that's why I am creating positions in all the dip. So I think 2800 should not be breached, but you never know how the market is going to behave. So let's see. Vedanta also gave a good breakout, and from there it is now again correcting towards the levels of 300. Bajaj Finance, after the result there was a 5% drop down today. It is trying to get some support from 7500, but it closed below 7500. Going forward I think अगर ये immediately in 1 or 2 sessions अगर ये इसको take out नहीं करती है, then this will be a laggard, and theoretically 8000 can be it can take a really long time to go towards 8000. Axis Bank also, after the result, a lot of short positions were created. It even breached the levels of 800. Going forward it can again correct towards the levels of 760. So let's see if it is able to do. The thing is, if tomorrow it opens with a gap up of at 800, then theoretically again short covering will get triggered. And Bajaj Finance also, for now I think at 7500, I think at 7800 would be a good target, and for us to monitor, and then we can see how it moves from there. So this is all how it looks now. Let's do India Mart. Okay, yeah, India Mart again, 8000 was a good support, right? It was a if you want to do a quick analysis, India Mart was between this particular box, and then it gave a breakout, and then it gave a failed breakout. When you see such a failed breakout, then the best strategy is to drop all your holdings, because theoretically it will make sure that it is going to come towards 8000 very soon, and that's what happened in just 3 sessions it came. And theoretically, when there is such a failed breakout, then even that box in the low segment that gets broken. And so right now 8000 is a very strong resistance, and until and unless 8000 के ऊपर closing आती है, there is absolutely nothing which will happen in India Mart. And this is also similar to what you see in IEX. Say for example over here, so there was a range breakout, and after this there was an immediate sell off, and now you can see ये जो 712 थी, so it's just trying to defend this level, and there was a gap up between 704, and this was also filled up. But अगर ये फिर 700 को breach करती है, automatically 600 and even below is possible, and this is what I have been talking about. So from technical perspective, this is how you should be looking into all the breakouts. A failed breakout is going to be very painful, and the more you cling and the more you hold on to your holdings, the more losses that's going to happen. For me it's not a problem, because I buy in cash and I hedge myself with options, so it's always a very safe trade for me, because even if my view is wrong, I always have my cash holdings, which I can give back to the market. But if you are just dealing in plain options, then these are some of the trips and traps that you have to take care of. Thanks a lot for listening, and maybe this video is going to give you some information which you are looking for. As usual, the nature of the market is not that great, and this is just like only some few particular scripts have been working, and so try to follow those trading. At the end of the day, we are just waiting to make money in the long side. So आज मेरा long side में जैसे थे चोला फिन था, so basically these were the ones who actually State Bank of India थी. So these were the ones which created money for me, but most of my money today was made on the short side, especially this especially from Tata Power. Today IEX was not, and IRCTC, so they were the main two selling. By selling them at different levels, I was able to make intraday money. So thanks a lot for listening. Hope this video is going to help you. Bye bye.